Nerd Den. Woo! Starting right on time as always. Happy Friday, everybody. How's it going, everybody?
Yeah.
Great enthusiasm, everyone. Appreciate it. No contributing factors, Dusty. How's everybody's week been? Good. Excellent.
I'm here.
You're here? Yeah, that's good. Good.
Yeah.
At least we're all breathing, right?
Yes, still breathing.
I did learn that one of my favorite guitar players from one of my favorite all-time bands passed away like yesterday.
Oh, you mean Brent Hines from Mastodon?
Yeah.
And you know what the sad thing is, this is like only like a 2 weeks after he left the band or was kicked out, depending on who you ask.
Man, whatever. He was awesome, and the band is awesome, and it's a band that I still listen to like regularly. So
Crack the Sky is like my go-to one of my go-to albums for the gym.
Oh, they don't have a bad album. They don't, like, even their latest one is fucking good. Like every album they have is really good. So like it sucks. But anyway, Hey, Reality says, "Hi guys, still breathing here." Keep doing it. Inhale, exhale. Got to keep going, brother. So it's been a good week. Let's see. We'll do a little update from Adult Fantasyland, and then look what the cat drug in. Hey, what's up, man?
I'm just waiting for you guys to go live. So
you don't see my texts, do you?
Did you text me?
I did. Yeah,
no, I was on another live stream, like I always am on Fridays.
Yeah, we'll talk. It's fine.
So as soon as I see you guys go live, I say, "Okay, guys, I got to go join them." I'm just waiting for you all.
Yeah, we were waiting for you. It's fine.
Well, that's your fault. I tell you every time.
It's
how
okay.
I do it.
Anyway, happy Friday, Andrew. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm great. I'm fantastic. I can't wait to talk to you guys about comics.
Oh man, I got so much too.
Hooray.
Avery has so much to talk about. Like, he will not shut up. It's crazy.
Yeah, he's been texting me all week, all these different things that he wants to talk about, and
so much.
I told him I said, dwarf throwing, tranny porn. We really don't want to talk about all of it.
Couple things we got set up tonight.
It's fun when you mix the two.
No. So a couple things I got for you guys.
I'm going on vacation again.
You're welcome. You're welcome,
we just got
Avery.
Dusty back.
Oh, please, Dusty, you sent me the link.
Well, you paid me well for it.
So, up tonight, quick update on adult fantasy stuff. Let you know where we are, what's going on, what's coming up in the next couple weeks. Also, a couple small news things, just some stuff to talk about in the comic space. Also, I found a documentary that was uploaded 3 days ago. It is a behind-the-scenes comic documentary from 1979, and it has like everybody. It is so good. It's like the whole thing is about like 17 minutes long. I watched like the first 5 minutes, and I was like, no, we got to save this. We got to EFAP it on Friday. So we'll play it and we'll comment on it, and that way we should be okay. It's so good, man. I was like, oh, look at this. So so I guess we'll jump in. Found something kind of cool. What do you think the Earth's largest comic collection? Who do you think has it? Where is it? The Earth's largest comic collection.
It's probably some dude in Dubai.
See, I would think that too, right?
Yeah.
What about you, Andrew? Any guesses?
Sorry, I was trying to get to the mute button. I know who had the world record for largest personal collection, but I don't know if he still holds that record or not.
Well, see, that's personal, not necessarily large. Like, that's a specific thing. Yeah. And I always thought it was Mile High Comics.
Yeah, me too.
I've never seen so many comics in my life.
Right.
It's, believe it or not, it's not. So this is a recent discovery, I guess. I mean, not a hidden thing, but apparently the Earth's biggest comic collection is right here. Let me see if I can blow it up here. This is the Earth's biggest comic collection. Look how nicely organized everything is. It is Michigan State University. Right? I was like, really? Like, okay.
That's wild. Okay.
Isn't that crazy? Like, never would have thought of that. Never, ever would have thought of that. And what it is Michigan State University's massive collection of comics at one of their archives with material dating back as far as the mid-1930s and even some 19th century prototype samples, along with plenty of foreign products. The world's largest publicly accessible comic book collection is in Michigan. They have approximately 350,000 books. This treasure trove grew from just a few thousand issues at its inception in 1970. The collection housed within the Stephen O. Murray and Keelung Hong special collections offers something rare in the world of comic preservation, the opportunity to actually handle the material. So you can go there and you can like read those books from the 30s, even though they're probably worth a fortune.
Now, how many of those are there duplicates of?
Well, I don't know.
Okay,
Reality says it's got to be an American. So yeah, I kind of spoiled that, but yeah.
Yeah, because Bob has the largest private collection of unique books with 101,000. So
well, I think again you said private collection.
Right.
This is a public collection.
Largest collection of comic books.
Right. So
it's 101,000 unique items.
Was it largest overall? Or is it largest? You said largest private collection.
The largest collection of comic books is 101,000, but that's a private. That's not a business. A business could have more than, one copy of a book. His is one individual books, 101 individual books. So
interesting. All right.
It stands to reason too that in like the University of Michigan, they have to have multiple copies if people are allowed to touch them, because you're not going to let somebody spill a drink on your only one or something.
How many copies of X-Force #1 is in that collection?
Oh yeah, fair enough. It says, let's see. It says,
we're all guilty of multiple copies of that, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Well, there was a time early on in building of my store that I found a collection. It wasn't one I was going to be able to afford. That was for sale, and Bob actually told me it would probably be a bad investment because he said probably more than half of the books are 90s issues, and there's hundreds of issues of the same issue. Just because they have a collection that's really big doesn't mean it's unique stuff. So
right. Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
That's a lot of freaking comics.
Right? It's crazy. Hold on. It's nuts, dude. Oh. Hold on. 1 second here. So this says the collection originated in 1970 through the vision of MSU professor Russell B. Nye, a pioneer of pop culture studies who recognized comics' cultural significance when many dismissed it as a low art form. Nye began with approximately 6,000 issues donated by graduating seniors, establishing what would become an internationally significant archive. Today, the collection spans every continent except Antarctica, featuring propaganda comics from North Korea, the largest collection of Israeli comics outside Israel, and proto-comics dating to the 1860s. That's crazy.
Oh, wow.
Proto-comics, like they didn't even have a word yet, right? Yeah. Can you imagine that? What is that? I've never seen that.
Now, my store has a little over 21,000 comics in my inventory. That doesn't include graded comics. So, but I mean, I've got duplicate issues in there. So I think uniquely, probably close to 18 to 19,000 unique individual comics.
Wow.
Which is a fraction of what's out there. So
this is what's cool is like, if this is, since this is this is the actual source, since this is like a here, let's see, since this is public, you could go see it and you could go
Yeah.
mess with it.
I seriously doubt there's an Amazing Fantasy 15 or X-Men Giant Size #1, or I seriously doubt there's anything like that in there. You know,
I don't know, man. I mean, it doesn't matter. Like anything that old is worth tens of thousands of dollars.
yeah.
I mean, there's introducing Wonder Woman. Like,
Yeah, that looks too pretty. That's probably a reprint.
look at this.
That is
Look at
cool
that.
though. That would be cool to go through. But
Wow, look at this thing, dude. This guy's in heaven. Hold on, let's see if I can I get these they don't blow up. Wow, look at this. Every issue's in like a nice Mylar sleeve. Holy shit, that's the first graphic novel. It Rhymes with Lust is the very first graphic novel.
oh yeah,
Yeah. Interestingly enough, like everyone, you know, like what's his name? Do they talk about this book at all? Look at the first graphic novel. They didn't give the artist name. I can't remember his name. He was a black guy. Like he was an early African American comic illustrator. He was the first person to put long form comics into a book, and Will Eisner ended up making it like more of a thing. But that's the very first graphic novel. Let's see. An original All-Star Comics issue that was the debut of Wonder Woman is housed as a prized possession inside the Stephen O. Murray and Keelong Hong special collections at Michigan State. So that's the original, Andrew. This guy right here is like living the dream.
I'm betting it's not something you could check out. You know.
No, I doubt it. Yeah, there's multiples. You see how there's mouse.
Yeah.
There's duplicates. God, look how cool this looks.
Todd's like, this is my dream.
Hell yeah, look at this. Wow, look at that All-Star Comics. Oh.
Well, go start a collection at a college.
Oh, that's cool. A letter from Stan Lee speaking on the Fantastic Four comics is kept inside of the collection. Can I read it? Let's see if we can read it. Hold on. I'm going to download this image and see if we can read it, because they're not letting me blow these up. Let's see. What else we got? What is that? The Butterfly. The first appearance of a black female superhero in comics. Huh. Cool. Hellrider. Super cool, man. Look at that. It's like, yeah, that's like so cool. This beautiful collection. Yeah, you can't check these out. They probably have like tables there and stuff, and you're not leaving with it, obviously.
Yeah. I wonder if any of those are marked so that if they ever got graded, they'd be counted as a
like stolen
pedigree from a certain collection.
Oh, probably. I don't know. I don't even know how that works.
Oh, well, there's certain collections that CGC tracks where they originally came from, and the markings on them are all unique to that collector's personal collection. And there's just some comics that get pedigree grading can be valued higher because of the simple fact that it came from a certain collection.
Yeah.
You know, like there's actually books out there that are from George Perez's personal collection. There's some that are from like what's his name? Who was the guy that played Ghost Rider in the movie?
Oh,
Nick Cage.
Nick Cage. There are books out there that are apart from his personal collection that have been graded that are pedigree status because they know it's a thing.
Yeah, he
It's
had a
thing.
pretty impressive collection at one time. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
By the way, I want to give a shout out to Rages, who's here. What's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Been a minute. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, this is cool, man. I saw this and I was like, man, like it's just like that's like a dream collection. Like if you just had like the like, you know, Google money, I would have a room like this.
Oh yeah, with those shelves that you can move the shelves.
Those rolling shelves. There's like stackable
Wild.
rolling shelves. So cool, man. What else? Let's see. I'll give you guys an update real quick on Adult Fantasy. Since I was supposed to do that first, and I just jumped into this stuff. Let's see. So we're getting ready to launch a show. We've got 3 episodes. They're short form. The episodes are in the can. 3 episodes are in the can. Website redux. The rebuild of the website is done. It's very simple, but it looks cool. And I'm working on the email funnel now. This week was a little hard. This whole week was brutal. Like we had 3 trees removed in our backyard. So we had like heavy equipment in our backyard to cut down trees and like grind stumps and all that because they were too close to the house. And then the air condition died. Like the air conditioner died.
Is it fixed?
Where they were supposed to fix it yesterday, they fixed it today. But they fixed it by replacing it. So we just, had to buy a brand new air conditioning,
Right.
It's fine. Everything's fine. And then today I woke up and the internet was down. So it's been a week, dude. So I'm trying. My goal for Monday, that is all to say, my goal for Monday is to get the onboarding email sequence stuff done. And then Monday, there's a couple of like little short hidden episodes and stuff that I need to do just to kind of like sweeten the pot a little bit. But I think we're on track to launch early September. It's like my original goal is end of August, and I think we'll technically be ready end of August. Like I think we'll hit our goal from a assets standpoint, but then I want to give a couple of weeks to like promote it and get everything really ready. And I got to repolish. We got to rebrand and repolish the all the social media stuff. So yeah, a lot of stuff coming. I'm very, very excited. It's something that we've been working very hard on for a very long time. So, and yeah, it's gonna be a lot of work, but I'm excited by it. I'm kind of chomping at the bit, to be honest with you. But yeah. Anyway, quick update on that. It'll be fine. Everything's fine. Let's see. All right. So jumping back into stuff this week. So I found this and I wanted to kind of talk about it because it actually ties into some other things that, how can I do this? Like, I don't want to bring up friends of ours and people that we've worked with necessarily, but this did pique my interest because of things that we've seen recently. So this is Disney and Webtoon announced multi-year partnership for mobile Marvel Comics release. So I don't know if you guys have seen this yet, but they're now taking some of these classic comics. I don't know if they have images. They don't. But basically, they're going to be taking some of these classic comics. Classic meaning in the last like 10 years. They're not going all the way back. But like John Romita Jr.'s Spider-Man, the Star Wars relaunch, like a fairly, I think that was that Jerome Opeña's Captain America, the Avengers thing he did or whatever it was.
That's from an Avengers cover, but yeah.
Yeah, it was like X something. I don't remember. But like, so taking these classic, I guess not modern classic, I guess I want to say, and repackaging him and pushing them to Webtoons, and they're going to be in the Webtoons format. So they're just taking all of the comics and chopping them up and kind of putting them in that long form format. And so this says Disney made a deal with Webtoon to host their products on their animation platforms, Marvel Comics included. They're going to bring about 100 titles from Marvel. 100 titles. So that's a big deal. Star Wars and other Disney properties to its vertical scrolling platform. They're going to release adaptations of existing comics for smartphone viewing, as well as original content developed for mobile format. Content will appear in a dedicated section of Webtoon's English language app. So Amazing Spider-Man debuts this month, followed by Avengers, Star Wars, and other titles. Yeah, this is why it was interesting to me, because the platform Webtoons boasts 155 million monthly active users globally, but has lacked superhero titles, which Disney's Marvel catalog will now deliver in earnest. The platform's demographics skew younger and more female than traditional comics readers, and its popular titles lean towards fantasy, romance, and slice-of-life genres. For Disney, the partnership marks a shift from Marvel Comics' traditional distribution through comic shops and download services that cater to older fans. The entertainment giant could tap into Webtoon's younger, mobile-first user base while opening new revenue streams for its extensive back catalog. What do you guys think about this?
I think it's a stupid idea. You've got a platform that mostly caters to manga and girls.
Yep.
And then you're going to throw superheroes in there, which either girls are going to like. It's not going to drive boys to the site because of it.
Right.
That's what they're thinking. Because these are all titles other than Beauty and the Beast at the end, which is the manga Beauty and the Beast, which is honestly perfect for this. But those other titles are not going to drive boys to the site.
Yeah.
It's once again, they're trying to make superheroes a girl thing. For girls.
Well, I think it's also the other, like from Webtoon's perspective, I think it's
what
great.
It's what they did with Star Wars.
Right.
Force is female and all that stuff. And now supposedly they're crying, where'd all the guys go? Why can't we get guys to come back to Star Wars?
Right. So. Well, I think with Webtoons, it's actually a good idea because they are getting hundreds of titles, hundreds of issues. It's already made, so they know they can just like dump all of it into their backend system and drop it weekly for however many years, right? So that's great for them. On Marvel's side, I mean, I don't know if it's necessarily like, oh, we need to get girls or women to read this. I think they're starving, and they're looking at, I think what the number they're looking at is 155 million monthly active users globally. They're saying we need to get our stuff in front of 155 million people because comic sales are down and all this stuff is down. With that said, I don't know why you would pick these titles. Maybe it's royalty stuff. I don't know. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't put like, the stuff that always sells, the Jim Lee runs,
if you released a series of Alien comics on a site that most of the people that are there are girls who like reading Hello Kitty comics, you think all of a sudden they're going to become Aliens fans?
Not at all. Yeah. Maybe they're hoping that with this on Webtoons that boys will be attracted to the Webtoons platform for the first time. Because this is the issue. Like most of the stuff that's on Webtoons is female romance, gay and lesbian, like
slice of life, which is manga.
Slice of life,
that's what it is. It's very heavy in that.
Yeah, it is, and maybe that's why Webtoons is trying to diversify, and Marvel's trying to get a new audience. But I don't think it's gonna. I don't know if it's gonna work. Like, certainly, it's not targeting us, and that's okay. Like, I will never read. The last thing I want to do is read a comic book on a mobile phone.
Yeah, why would anybody want to read Marvel comics on a scrolling app where they're going to have to chop up the comics when you can just go to Marvel Unlimited and read the comic pages as is?
Right.
And well, here's the other thing. Expecting people to buy it,
Here's the other thing, man. And this is I'm going to project, and I'm planting a flag here. And granted, I have a huge stake in this, so like I am biased, okay? But like, comics are comics. The minute you put a comic like this on a scrolling platform like Webtoons, you're competing with everything else that's on the internet, including video. Video to me is, I mean, and again, we've talked about this. Like when I'm doing the adult fantasy show that I'm working on, I'm not thinking of it as a TV show. I'm thinking about it as a comic book. It's a short comic book story. I'm drawing like rough pages and I'm turning those into storyboards, and then I'm using AI and helping to generate the actual footage for it. But it's a comic book. Like comic books on like a platform is video. Like it's video. That they're missing the transitional piece. Do you know what I mean? So I think they're going to get blown out of the water. I think this is short-lived. I mean, I don't know how long the contract is for. I'm sure it's like a multi-year deal if they're doing hundreds of titles. But the minute, I mean, it's not going to do very well. I mean, maybe it will. I don't know. Maybe other countries need to be exposed to this, but at least here in the States, I can't imagine it doing well, or helping with any kind of sale or anything. You know? I mean, Beauty and the Beast might do well. I don't know.
I haven't been to the Webtoons platform in years.
Yeah. Well, weren't you trying to do that a little bit with Hero for a minute, like early in the Webtoon days?
I released the original black and white of Hero Book 1 on there, but it was the full pages. I did not cut it down to be scrolling. It was the full pages. So whether or not that, I mean, I got
Is it
views
still there?
on it, but that was it. I think so. I don't know. I haven't been, like I said, I haven't been there.
You never went back.
Yeah. Now you're making.
That's really funny.
Let's see. I have to agree to the terms.
No, well, guys, just to play devil's advocate for a sec. In Japan, when it comes to manga, increasingly they're read online. And when you go on the trains there, people are staring at their phones. They're reading their manga, they're reading their manga, via apps.
Mm.
You know, I mean, and they pull it off. It's again, it's another reason why manga tends to do better is that they make it easy for people to access their stuff. Whereas it's I know you guys are nostalgic for comic book stores and all that. I am too, but it's not as easy to get into comics when you have to drive 2 towns over to like one of the 3 many comic book stores in your county that hasn't closed up shop yet.
Mm-hmm.
And and like it or not, it's like it's the same thing with books. I mean, ebooks have not displaced paper books, but they haven't gone away. They're a big thing now. And especially for people who aren't going through the major publishing houses, that's how they get their stuff out. That's what I do.
Right.
I think, do I think, I don't know anything about Webtoons, so I can't say anything about it. But I'm not so sure. I mean, look, Disney being Disney nowadays, they'll probably fuck it up because that's what Disney does. They take good ideas, they roll them in feces, and then deep fry them, and then serve it up to be eaten and a surprise when no one wants to take a bite. But using an online platform to appeal to young male readers is not a bad idea. I mean, because those are guys who have grown up online anyway.
Mm-hmm. And
there's kind of there's a lot of nostalgia for old school physical media, like vinyl records and so on. But we're talking about comic books,
right?
It's I mean, I've read a lot of comic books online over the years. And the problem is, I don't think the reason why I take it up in the States is simply because, quite frankly, that the people who've been doing it have been stupid. Comixology worked for a while, then they got bought by Amazon, and then they just kind of disappeared. Every single comic book publisher wanted to have its own platform, like the way every studio wants its own streaming service, and no one's going to subscribe to 5 different platforms to read, just one issue each.
Right.
I mean, I think I don't think this is a bad idea. I just don't trust Disney to pull it off well because they're basically run by a bunch of like HR types nowadays. But again, you know, if you want to talk to any reader under the age of 30, going online is not a bad idea because, you know, if it's a choice between like pulling up a comic on your phone, you know, in 5 seconds, or, you know, going to a comic store that may or may not be open, may or may not still be in business.
Well, that's why
you might have what you're looking for. I know, you know, it's not a hard choice.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's why, like, in my opinion, this is more about reach, because you can get these comics. These comics are already online,
Right.
and so it seems to be more about like trying to get a new audience. But I do agree. I think what I think it is I think it's a combination of Webtoons trying to get more boys on their platform, and Marvel trying to get more reach to people that they don't normally.
Well, there's a funny article that came out a few days ago, and all the usual commentators are having a field day with it. Apparently, Disney's new mandate is basically like short version. We need more men to watch our shit. So they've tasked like this guy to find quote unquote new properties and platforms to appeal to Gen Z to Gen Z males.
Right.
Because apparently they're not, those guys aren't showing up for Marvel or Lucasfilm anymore because, well, they haven't done a good job with it. And, you know, they've realized that, you know, appealing only to like, you know, like the female audiences in Brooklyn or San Francisco isn't really a viable business model. So yeah, so I can see why they would do this. Again, can they pull it off? I don't know. I mean, I would like to see, you know, like a some webtoon platform to develop a UX that isn't a nightmare. That isn't a nightmare to use like Comixology was. I mean, I'm sorry to say, but you know, I hate to say it, but that scrolling from panel to panel option they used, it doesn't work. It breaks the flow. I mean, mostly because those comics weren't created with web in mind. You know, you read the entire page.
Hold on for 1 second. Hold on for 1 second. Drew is sharing something. Hold on.
I have some comments on this.
Yeah, what's up, man?
No, I just think it's I think that hindsight is always 20/20, and it's really fascinating to look at how these platforms act and who they allow and who they promote and who they don't.
Yeah.
And then it all makes sense later when you have a Goliath like Disney that's going to come in and sort of take over that sphere of a specific kind of content, I guess you could say. Mm. And then it all makes sense, right? It's just really interesting.
Mm.
No, I definitely see how Aliens and Star Wars and Spider-Man and Avengers is going to fit in here.
Well, it's going to be its own tab. They're creating a new little tab that's going to be like the Disney tab.
This is what people come to Webtoons for.
Right. Yeah, they're wholly uninterested in Marvel and DC and Disney. Like,
but for Webtoons as a platform to grow, they have to be reaching their maximum when they appeal to such a minority slice of the general population.
Right.
They have to kind of change in some way, which maybe this is an attempt to do.
I think so. I do feel like, I can't remember, but I feel like I've read an article not too long ago about how they're trying to, like, they want to reach out to more boys and
like, the Variety article. There was a Variety and
so because most of their audience is like, you know, like women and the LGBTQ crowd, and that's fine. But to Dusty's point, it's like any business. Like, I feel like 155 million people is not small. So I think you can assume that maybe they've stopped growing, right? They're saturated in that niche, and now they have to attract other people. But I don't know. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge because it's like OnlyFans, right? Like, OnlyFans got saturated with a type of content, adult content, and then because there was adult content there, no one else wanted to ever go there. right? And so it became only adult content. And then it was like what, last year or something, like they said they were not going to allow adult content on their platform anymore. And the entire platform revolted to the point where they had to give up and say, no, you guys can stay. They would have shut down. Like 99% of their user base is adult content. So, you kind of get what you get,
Well, I mean, look, I think like Marvel, well, Disney did have a lock on like the young male audience for a while when they bought Marvel. The original MCU was pretty. It drew from all those classic storylines, which, and superhero comics really are kind of a male centric thing. They're basically like a power fantasy for young men. It's yes, there are women who read them, but they're not a substantial part of the audience.
Right.
They never have been. I mean. And I mean that's one of the things about American comics that I just can't. I mean, you can't. You have trouble wrapping your head around, because if you go back to the 40s, like the audience was massive and was evenly split. There were equal numbers of girls and boys reading it. But the thing is, after the moral panics of the 50s, the superhero comics were the only. They're the only. They became the default genre because they were the only one to survive.
Right.
And I never really understood why. Why there wasn't an attempt to kind of like instead of trying to make a limited run of like superhero comics, which never really appealed to young female readers anyway, to try and like make them universal for everyone when they're not going to. Why they just didn't do what manga did and print different stuff for make different stuff for different audiences. I mean, romance comics, they do pretty well in Japan, and romance novels do really well here in the States. So I just don't see why they couldn't make that connection.
Yeah.
And I mean, look. Also, I think this is just my observation. I think webtoons, when it comes to putting stuff on, we can talk about how Disney fucked up Marvel and Lucasfilm so we're blue in the face, but there's a whole cottage industry of that on YouTube, and I don't feel like we're going to say anything new. But I think when it comes to putting Marvel comics online, I think I think there's an inherent problem with American superhero comics that I don't think a lot of people see unless you're really approaching it from the outside, which is that it is very hard, if you don't know anything about it, to get in. I mean, one of the reasons why manga tankobon sells so well in the States is that the barrier to entry is really low. Most of them literally go from like volumes 1 to whatever, so you know where to start. But if you put, let's just say you stick with the X-Men, and let's say they put every X-Men comic from the 1980s onward. Where do you start if you want to get into it? I mean, do you just pick a random number and go there? I mean, do you start with the Chris Claremont era? Do you start with, I don't know, House of M? I mean, it's not a linear timeline. There's starts and stops, there's reboots and restarts. There's Elseworlds. There's like limited runs that don't really have any bearing on the actual timeline because the time and it's hard to make sense of. Yes, you can make jokes about canon and all that, but that stuff matters if you're a new reader and you don't know what you're doing, and you're reading about, you start reading like comics and all, like X-Men. All of a sudden you realize, hey, wait a minute, I thought Psylocke was a white British girl. Why is she now a hot Asian ninja? Or when it's like, wait a minute, didn't Jean Grey die? Why is she come back? And did none of that matter? She's exactly the same. She's even more powerful than before. And it's like, how many times has Wolverine died and come back? And why is everything suddenly being rebooted again?
Right.
I mean, if you're a long time reader, that stuff, you just roll with the punches. But if you're some kid who doesn't know anything about it beyond what he saw in the movies, I mean, again, I think that's an inherent weak, and that doesn't take into account all the shared universe stuff that you have to deal with as well, because what happens if they're doing a crossover with the Avengers, and so all of a sudden you're being dunked into the Avengers, and it's the same thing, only more, because it's a different comic. I just think, just looking at this from the outside,
Hear anything?
I think that this is. Yeah, this is a weakness of American comics, is that they're very hard to get into if you're not already into them. Whereas with manga, you know where to start. If you want to read like Attack on Titan, well, Attack on Titan #1 is where you start. Anyway, rant over.
Yeah, good point, brother. Hey, Doc, how's it going, man?
My
Welcome.
belly, there's children running around everywhere right now.
Yes.
I was like, I'm gonna go check on the guys.
Yeah, man. I was like, where the hell's Doc?
Yeah, I busted out some wings tonight, and my office is at my mom's anyway. So like my daughter, niece, nephew, running around, hopped up on goofballs. It's been cool. It's cool. How you
Awesome,
guys?
man. Hey, well, welcome back, Doc.
Thanks.
Andrew, man, like, you seemed pretty revved up tonight. Like, you got some good stuff to talk about.
Well, I went to the comic book store and I bought some comics. And I was rather ticked that my local comic book store, because their internet was down, they can't do crap. Meaning they can ring you up, they can check you out, but they couldn't give you any of the credits that you might have earned at the store because, of course, it's connected to the internet. Can't take a credit card or anything. So I literally paid $25 for 5 comics, and I had over $20 in credit, and I couldn't use it because they couldn't figure out how to do it. And my
Internet just
store,
died.
at my store, I have a computer, but it's not the end all to be all to everything that happens in my store. I can make decisions for myself. These corporate stores can't do crap, and it's just really disappointing. But I did get. I'll show you the comics I got, and just give you my quick review. Still enjoying Exquisite Corpses. This is issue number 4 of Exquisite Corpses. Did we lose Todd? We lost Todd. Hopefully he'll come back.
Whoa. What happened?
What did you just
What
you
happened?
just do?
Nothing. I didn't do anything.
You left, and then everything.
I think the whole system just farted. I don't know. I didn't do anything. I was like, everyone froze, and I was like, is it
System
my internet?
thought.
Guys, I wasn't talking about Hello Kitty minifigures. I was talking about comics, so there's no reason for that to happen.
Hello.
At least the stream
Kitty.
didn't go down.
So,
That's-
Exquisite Corpses, issue number 4. Still enjoying this title. Wasn't really happy that they had a fill-in artist in this issue, but it was okay. It was still good. The storyline still the storyline is still going on, and I'm enjoying it. Battle Beast number 4, still a good book, still fun and enjoyable. So it's a good one.
Ooh, I want to see. That Battle Beast is actually a book that I want to buy. I don't have any of the issues yet. It looks great.
Ghost Pepper number 2.
Yeah, that's another one.
This is one I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I'm curious about it.
I normally, when books have alternate covers, I go with the cover A.
Yeah.
The cover A's for this series haven't been very strong. It's been the alternate covers. Like this one is done by what's his name? Oh crap. He's a very popular alternate cover guy. I just like this cover better, so I picked it up. I would be damned if I put out a comic where I had an alternate cover by Todd or an alternate cover by Avery, and those covers outsold my cover. I'd be pissed. I'd be just pissed. But so far for this series, I've bought the alternate covers for both issues. So, and the story's getting interesting. They introduced what's so funny is this artist did a couple issues of Battle Chasers, and he's setting this story up very similar to a Battle Chasers, where like this guy is the swords guy from Battle Chasers. You got this little guy back here who's kind of like the mage character. You got this girl here who's kind of like the Gully character. And in this issue, they just introduced his version of Red Monica, who's a hot, super strong, cool looking babe who you don't see a lot of, but she's going to be introduced more in the next issue. So very similar to what Battle Chasers did. So piss me off. This is Seasons issue number 7. I don't have issues 5 and 6 because I never saw them on the stands. My store didn't order very many of them, so I picked it up to find out what's going on because I still like the art and the story, but I'm literally missing 2 issues from the series, so I have to go out and try to find them. But this is the one I wanted to talk about. Absolute Batman number 11.
All right, real quick, before you do that, somebody's mic is on, and I can't figure out who because it says that everyone's muted. Oh, it might be you, Dusty. Yeah, that's
we can hear
weird.
you.
How can I hear you? Yeah, I don't know.
Yep,
I
we
can hear
you.
everybody. Everybody's supposed to be muted, but
Yeah. That's the thing with this one. That's the reason I actually turned my mic off.
I don't know. StreamYard or Streamlabs, I don't know, man. Sometimes it's not that great.
We had this before.
We had this before.
Remember that time Zach was
Yeah.
saying all those anti-Semitic stuff, and he didn't realize.
Yeah. So just try to mute your mics, guys, while Andrew's talking, and we'll just deal with it. We'll fix it later.
Yeah, heaven forbid. Okay, so I bought this issue, and I've been buying every issue of Absolute Batman, and I've been enjoying it. It's not my favorite of the Absolute line. What Absolute Wonder Woman is, but this one was supposed to be like deep dive into the origin of Bane. And it's very similar to the origin of the Bane we're familiar with. There were some other changes involved, but it was still interesting. Well, at the end of the story, Batman takes on Bane. Bane beats the shit out of him, takes his axe, chops off both his arms, and then takes the axe and smashes it into his face. And he defeats Batman, right? And then the guys come in and they drag him off, and he's going into surgery, and they're going to be rebuilding him. And then Bane has this fantasy about, becoming Gotham's hero. And there's an image of him like he's the hero they always wanted. And then it shows Bane saying that the only way he's going to really defeat Batman is to go after his friends. And at the very last page, he's going after Harvey Dent, Nigma, and what's his name, the other guy, 3 of his villains who are actually his good best friends in this series. And it was interesting, and it's the over the top, like Bane broke Batman's back in the regular continuity, right? This book is nothing but extremes, right? It's taking everything to the extreme. So the fact that he used Batman's own axe and literally chops off his arms is what you would expect to happen in a book about extremes, right?
Oh, that's interesting.
Well, then I read a review of Absolute Batman number 11 on the batnews.com. It just so happened it popped up in my feed, and I decided to go ahead and read it. And the person, I swear, after reading the review, I'm like, this review sounds like it was written by ChatGPT. It was written by AI and not by a real person, because they missed the point completely of that whole extreme, because the person actually said, and I'm going to get to it. I'll actually share it with you if that's all right.
Yeah. By the way, while you're doing that, Reality says, I don't hear anyone except Drew and Todd. So
good.
Maybe
that's the way it should be.
Yeah. Great. All right, hold on. Let's see.
Like they explain in the story, they explain his mask, how it's like a bird mask, a bird of freedom or something, and the tails are become his skull or something. It's weird. It doesn't make any sense, but this is him killing his own father and so forth. And he goes on, he says in here about how here's actually the picture of Batman with his arms missing, where he literally chops off his arms.
Oh, yeah.
And then the person in the article says, the prestige, if you will, is the reveal that none of this actually happens. It's all a hypnotic future where Bruce refuses to relent, and it uses Bane as a direct challenge to his ethos that Batman has established for himself. Just how far does Never Give Up go? And I'm like, where in the comic was it revealed that this never happened? Because that's not true. It didn't not happen. It happened. And so this person completely missed the point of the comic, because let me show you the pages that came after the cutting off of his arms. Because, all right. Okay. All right. So you see that page where he's cutting off his arms. And then the next page, it shows him taking the axe, lifting it above his head and smashing it into his face. And it literally breaks the axe in half. And that's Batman's face underneath it. That's his jaw. He goes, smash. And then they take him and they drag him off, and then the doctor says, prep him for surgery and whatnot. If this was a fantasy, why would they then take him and do surgery on him to rebuild him? Where you see how they have the skeleton in there, and they're doing all this stuff they wouldn't, because this page is where Bane is imagining, he's got children, and the world's a better place and so forth, and then it shows him like as the ultimate Bane, taking care of the city and so forth and whatnot. So okay, yeah, that might be future stuff, but the beating and the dismembering of Batman, why did this person think it never happened? There's nothing in this book that says it never happened.
Yeah, but I could see that. I mean, I could see like, when you beat a villain or whatever, and you think you've killed the villain, and the villain is like,
Yes,
like
but
it's like a story dream where I see your point.
But in the original comics, Bane broke Batman's back.
Right.
This comic, once again, is nothing but extremes.
So you're not going to know until the next issue if it's
true or not. Yeah.
True or
Well,
not.
I think it's true. I think because why else would they show pictures of him going into surgery to be rebuilt by this? Because there were two other times that he tried to escape and ran into Bane, and Bane beat the crap out of him, and then they did surgery on him, and they did stuff to him. They're trying to make Batman better, and Bane gets to beat the crap out of him and destroy him, and then they build him up better again. Why would chopping off his arms not really happen? And this writer,
they
this
use
reviewer,
barbecue tongs.
Well, the reviewer just assumes that this didn't really happen. And the whole book is about going to the extreme. So I think the reviewer missed the whole point of the book and what happened. It's the whole thing was not an imaginary tale. This is what the Bane of Absolute Batman would do to Batman in order to defeat him. He didn't break his back. He literally chopped his arms off and smashed his face in.
Yeah.
So this is somebody who thinks, oh my gosh, that's just so horrific. It never happened.
Well, I am excited that there's a Batman book or any book that is bringing, like people are talking about. It's not my flavor, honestly, of a book, but
yeah, well,
it doesn't do anything for me. I don't know.
This is absolutely nothing like the Aztec Batman, which is going to be a kick-ass version of Batman. Remember the animated movie that we saw?
Yeah,
preview?
yeah.
Just making sure.
Yeah.
So.
God.
Could be cool. I still say it could be cool. But
the Aztec Batman?
Yeah, why not?
Back to
But
sleep,
I mean,
Doc.
like,
go back to sleep.
Whatever, man.
Based on that video that we saw, it was
All of that is shit. But the concept of an Aztec Batman, I think, kicks ass. But he'd be a lot more like a serpent bird man. They're all like colorful.
There was a
series.
There was a series right after Final Crisis or one of the crises where Batman was thrown back through time, and each issue had him coming back in a different century.
Yeah.
Like the first one was he was a barbarian. Then there was one where he was like a pirate or something, and then there was one where he was like a I forgot what it was. It was like the 1920s crime or something. And then there was one before that where he was like during the Pilgrim Age, and it was different takes on Batman throughout these centuries, and it was actually kind of cool. But the caveman Batman is actually kind of frightening. But oh well. Well, we'll see what happens. I don't know if there's. I think they've been talking about how the new Ultimate, or not the new the new Ultimate Marvel series are going to wrap up after a few years. I don't think they've said the same thing about the Absolute. They've got a new mini series getting ready to come out called Absolute Evil, where there's the villains and I don't know how many villains they're going to put in this. So, but it's a series that's going to focus on the bad guys of the Absolute world. So we'll see what that does.
All right. Yeah, it is interesting though. That's a good, interesting thing to bring up. What, you got anything else? If not, no worries. I got the documentary.
Just looking around. Yeah. Show us the documentary. We got a half hour left.
Yeah. All right. So this is actually really cool. I'm really excited by this. So Doc, I don't know if I mentioned if you heard what this was. So what this is 3 days ago, Word Balloon on YouTube posted this 1979 behind the scenes comic documentary. And I'm one of those guys, like I've seen, I think, every documentary, right? Like just from years of being and doing this and being a fan, like, and like I think I've seen every documentary in comics, and usually they're terrible, to be honest with you. But I started watching this one, and I was like 5 minutes in, and I was like, this is fucking awesome. Like, listen to this. It features Stan Lee, Archie Goodwin, Neil Adams, Denny O'Neil, Julie Schwartz, John Romita Sr., John Romita Jr., Jaxie Harris, Mike Gold, a teenage Trevor Von Eden, who looks like he's 5. It's awesome. Frank Giacoa, Jim Steranko, and like many more. And it's narrated by Jonathan Winters.
Oh man, I love Jonathan Winters, dude. One of the great comedic geniuses for real.
Oh, and he's cracking jokes too. It's really good. So we're gonna EFAP this. Hopefully it doesn't like skip or anything. Sometimes with these systems it's weird, but we'll try it out. Tell me if you guys can if it works for you guys. All right, so really quick, I know I'm pausing it before we're even starting, but just in case, for those that don't know, Marvel and DC each have like their own comic book archive, like their own libraries, right? They don't have everything, but they have a lot of their own material, right? So they get, when they print their books, they put a couple in the library and they use it for reference and stuff like that. So this is a shot from 1979, and they don't tell you this, which is why I'm saying it. This is DC Comics like archive at the office in 1979. So I just want to put that out there because it's so freaking cool. Look at all those original art pages over there. Look at all the original art just stacked in the freaking corner.
This is the first issue of Detective Comics, from which DC Comics was later named. It's published in March 1937. Fu Manchu, a very popular character, was on the cover of our first issue.
Welcome, frantic ones, to the fabulous world of comic books, filled with color and action, handsome heroes, kryptonite green monsters, beautiful ladies. We're about to take a behind-the-scene look at the incredible world of comic books. Remember all those old comic books your mother made you throw out? Well, yesterday's trash is today's masterpiece. This is a comic book convention, a fabulous fate where frantic, fanatic fans finally find that long-lost...
Do you know how bad, really quick, do you know how bad, like, I want, like, all these books? like, oh my God, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say you don't see tables like that very often at conventions anymore, but that is
every single book on this table is worth something right now.
Yep, it's a very pretty sight.
You know?
Yeah, you don't see that anymore.
No. Reality says crazy. I was born in 79. Yeah, man. This is oh my god, this is so cool.
Fanatic fans finally find that long-lost classic, where the price of a comic book may be a schoolboy's pocket money
There you go. That's worth at least
or a millionaire's monthly allowance.
7,000 probably. I was offered 900 on the Morp 152 and I turned it down.
Why'd you turn that down? That's pretty good.
I don't want to break him up. It's a set. That's the first half of the original.
Haggling won't help, pal. Take it or leave it. The demand is heavy.
That's $1,000 above guy. The books aren't even new.
So that Fun Comics dude is worth so much. It's worth so much.
Yeah, but you hear the guy in the background arguing. It's not. They're not even mint.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so much. It's so. I was like, oh my god.
Dollars above guy. The books aren't even new.
Okay, that's what, 3,000?
1,500.
1,500. Okay. Next one. That is a beautiful.
Well, you know, I've been looking for these for a long time. As a matter of
But
fact,
conventions are only the tip of the iceberg in today's world of comic books. They become a big business with high stakes.
You know, the criminals catch him, they put him in a vat of cement and throw him in the water. And he comes back as a specter to fight crime.
New York City, the Big Apple. Yep, here it's action.
What's that?
That guy was wearing a thing that said creator. I wonder who he was.
I don't know.
The
You're
guy
right.
right there that was haggling.
Oh, creator. You're right. I never noticed that. Look at those old badges. Is that an old badge?
Yeah, I guess so. 1979, maybe.
Damn, dude. All right.
And he comes back as a specter to fight crime.
New York City, the Big Apple. Yep, here it's action, action, action. And the people never stop. That's the world of high finance for you. Yes, in these buildings, two huge corporations are battling it out right now for sales that total millions and millions of smackaroos a year. Is it ITT versus AT&T? Perhaps at the United Nations, the great powers battling it out. Is it NBC battling ABC? No. This is the battle between the comic book empires of DC and Marvel. They fight, compete, bash, pow, swoosh. DC Superman and Marvel's Spider-Man in a classic punch-out. It's the only time the two companies have worked together. Naturally, both characters ended up winning.
Are these the shots for the human fly?
Right. These are the character sketches I had John Romita work up for us.
Great. Now, this is the way he really is.
This is it in real life,
Yeah.
and this is the way Johnny's tried to glamorize it a bit,
Great.
tightening the costume and things.
We took off the cape, huh?
Watch closely, because The Human Fly, a new Marvel comic, is about to be created before your very eyes. Stan Lee, the elder statesman on the right, and Archie Goodwin are working out the shtick.
Who may possibly be the human fly.
Yeah. These, this is the pilot, the TV reporter. Let's see, we'll put this with this one. These are the characters who are going to be the candidates for herodom, if we can find out which one is the real human fly, right? I like the pilot very much. Yeah, she's a black girl. That's good.
Stan Lee knows the importance of characters and shtick. A pioneer of modern comic books, he's written over 10,000 comic stories.
I think is really great for the TV reporter. That was a good touch.
Comics were about the cutest little animals. But today, when you talk comics, you talk heroes, superheroes. They come in teams. They have fabulous powers. Their names are magic. The Silver Surfer.
So was this when they were doing this in 1979, was this, I guess these were the most recent issues, correct? Like Galactus and all that kind of stuff, or that would have had to have happened earlier than 79?
Yeah.
Yeah, Galacticus was way before. Galactus was way before 79.
It's cool to see Stan Lee and Archie Goodwin working on stuff in it.
That is cool.
All right, let's see.
Namor, the Submariner, Conan the Barbarian, and the Incredible Hulk.
right, look at that cover, dude. Is that Neil Adams? That's got to be Neil Adams, right? This?
I think that one is.
That's a Neil Adams cover, right?
Yeah, I
I'm
think
not
that
100% sure.
That's got to be Neil Adams. Look how good that is.
I've seen that cover recently on my a lot of the comic book stuff I follow on Instagram. I get because it shows a lot of that kind of stuff. They post a lot of that.
So good. All right.
Great balls of kryptonite. Meanwhile, a mild-mannered reporter strolls unnoticed through downtown Metropolis. Does he look familiar, fans? Is this merely a disguise?
Yo, you know who that is, right?
That was Neil Adams.
Yeah.
That was a young Neil Adams.
It's Neil Adams, dude.
Only a double identity? Look, up in the sky. Could it be? It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's... No, he isn't. He isn't even a reporter. I lied. He's ace comics artist, Neil Adams.
I already have Joe Namath. I already have Frank Sinatra.
Well, I think by having President Carter, our foremost citizen, our number one citizen, looking at the right in the.
What about Ford?
Ford, he should be right next to him.
On the back. On the back.
No,
Both on the back.
No, I don't think we should have Ford on the back.
But
This is DC Comics, neck and neck with Marvel.
faces that are going to be on the cover. What about? Let's get into.
You know that cover is worth like a couple $100,000, right? The Superman Muhammad Ali cover.
Oh, yeah. Maybe $500,000.
Yeah, it's like full color. It's like, yeah, you know, here you go. All right. God, man.
The story. Now I'm up to the sequence where Superman and Muhammad Ali are training together. And they're fighting in Superman's Fortress of Solitude. We've stopped timer, slowed it down. And what I wanted to discuss basically today is that I would like, if possible, to have the aliens send down a couple of robots.
You mean robots like Mechanical Men, Robbie the Robot,
Right.
Bucket of Bolts kind of robots?
Right. Yes, and what I'd like to do is
How else
have
do you
Muhammad Ali
describe
start to fight
robots?
them. Superman hasn't got his.
Really?
Huh?
How else do you describe robots? Bucket of
Yeah, I don't
Bolts,
know who that
robots?
is. Like,
yeah, it's like,
like I think that older guy is Julie Swartz, right?
possibly.
I think. I don't remember, but I don't know who the other guy is. But I wonder if it's like they maybe had him say that for the camera,
Probably.
like documentary, like robots. What do you mean robots? Like bucket of bolts, right? Who knows?
You got to use that in an adult fantasy video.
Oh, I'm thinking of like modeling this, making a short version. Yeah. I got an idea for this.
Okay.
All right, hold on.
Powers at the moment because he's in training.
He's still under the influence of the Red Sun and training for this big fight that's to come.
And then he comes in and he and Ali are fighting the robots, right?
Yeah.
And he comes in and in his superhero fashion, standard Superman bit, takes him out, whereas Ali, savvy ring-wise, ring tactician,
Right,
uses
right.
all of his boxing knowledge
Right.
to win.
Actually, he's in effect saving Superman's life before Superman gets his powers back. Superman really isn't very good at this.
Yeah, he's the new boy on the block.
Right. And he's created a giant tidal wave, and Superman has to stop a tidal wave, very small guy. The only way he can stop it is by creating a force, a sonic force, by smashing the two most indestructible things in the world together, his fists. So he smashes them together in front of him. Boom! And the sonic
Goodbye,
wave
Charlie.
stops the tidal wave, stops it instantly, and it falls.
Here's Ed Summers, a serious comic collector.
Pieces. The first thing.
All right, hold on. So this guy has original. I haven't seen this part. I haven't seen the Neil Adams stuff either. But look at his original art collection.
Oh, wow. When they drew it really big, like that.
And
the
notice-
slice up or whatever.
Yeah. And notice he kept it under his bed. But like, I don't even. These are super smart people. I just want to let everyone know that because like, I don't know if this dude ever held on to it, and I don't know. I mean, 79. He's probably like, if he's still alive, let's say he looks like he's in his 20s, maybe his 30s. He's probably, senior citizen now. He's probably like our parents' age, right? Like this dude's retired. Like if he held on to his artwork
If
that
he
long,
held on to that stuff,
What was the guy's name? I'll look him up, see if he's still alive.
I don't know. Let's find out. Let's see if it talks about it.
A serious comic collector.
Piece is the first thing they ever did for Jumbo Comics #1. It's the Count of Monte Cristo.
Huh?
Right before that, before they say serious comic collector, they say his name.
Hold on.
Yeah, play it from there.
Instantly, and it falls.
Here's Ed Summers, a serious.
Ed Summers, comic collector. At this stage, when he's doing that much, you got to be a dealer at that point.
Edward Summers, November of 2014. He died.
Oh,
Was an
man.
American painter, motion. Nope, that's a different person. Never mind.
And is it SOMMERS or SUMMERS?
I don't know.
All right, well, we'll keep watching.
Yeah, keep going.
Serious comic collector.
Piece is the first thing they ever did for Jumbo Comics #1. It's the Count of Monte Cristo. It's really pretty straight compared to some of Jack's other things, which are much more dynamic. It's what he developed later. Kirby at the time was going under the name of Jack Curtis because it wasn't really too decorous to be known as a comic book artist. It was pretty new. This is Kirby at his best. You can see here the qualities that Jack Kirby became famous for. The most obvious one is the exaggeration of the size of the hand, which makes it appear to come forward from the page. It's a technique, it's called for.
Dude, this guy's got a stack of early Kirby covers and his early work.
From early 2012 to up until his late passing in late 2014, I had the good fortune of knowing Edward Summers, who had been the owner of the legendary Super Snipe comic book Emporium, the first dedicated comic book store on the East Coast, and friend and business partner to George Lucas, with whom he co-owned the neighboring Super Snipes comic art gallery in the 70s and 80s. And on this bio page, it has him standing next to Arnold Schwarzenegger on the set of Conan the Barbarian.
Holy
That's
crap.
this guy. Yeah, he passed away in 2014, but he's huge in the comic world. Never heard of him, but oh my gosh.
Dude,
But
send
he
me the
was- he was
link
still
on
a
that.
major- he was
You have
still a
to send me
major
the link
player.
on that. I want to read that.
Oh yeah. It's on Kit Bashed, the origins of Star Wars. It has some interviews with him. But holy crap, this guy was wow. Yep, I'll put the link in the dude, this is definitely worth
Yeah, put the link in chat and we'll share it real quick. I want to see this. Hold on.
I'm pretty sure this is the same guy. It looks just like him, so
I'm sure it is. Oh yeah, that's him. Hold on. Well, I'm just gonna share this other screen real quick. Let's see. Here he is, Ed Summer.
yeah, scroll down. And you'll see the picture of him with
Oh wow.
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, look at that. Look at that giant. It's him with a massive comic collection over here.
Jeez.
These are recordings that he did where they were just chatting about stuff.
Oh, that's awesome. Let's see. The owner of legendary Super Snipe comic book emporium, first dedicated comic book store on the East Coast. So he was like the owner. That's what you just said. He was the owner of the very first comic shop on the East Coast, basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Friend and business partner.
One he co-owned with George Lucas.
Well, as the art gallery. So the pages that you're looking at where he's reviewing, he ended up partnering with, or was a partner of George Lucas at that time in the 70s.
Yep.
For a comic art gallery. Wow, he was Ed's wide-ranging stories covered everything from film school in the 60s through his work on Conan, being the first outsider to see RoboCop, sneaking into King Features to look at original Flash Gordon art with Lucas, interviewing comic book artists, as well as, of course, the story of how he started his famous comic book store. Oh, dude, I'm gonna bookmark that. I want to listen to these.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
He's the West Coast equivalent of Midtown.
Yeah, but bigger because this was like, I mean, he's like
yeah.
buddies with Lucas.
Yeah, he was. Is that Frank Frazetta in the middle of them?
Yes.
Yeah, this dude's
That's Frank Frazetta, dude.
This dude has been a major. This dude was a major player in art and in the dealing of comic book and sci-fi and fantasy art.
Until this very second, I'd never heard of him.
Yeah.
Well, look,
major player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's West Coast, that's why we aren't as familiar with him, probably.
Well, look, yeah, I mean, plus we're not, yeah, like, okay,
But
here we go, ready?
Absolutely a major player.
And he's like pulling the artwork out from under his bed at this point.
Yep.
All right, so this is an early Kirby. This is like the earliest Kirby work, basically, he's got. Like, Kirby's first work, which I've never seen. Here, go back.
Does this
The title.
Just hold on a second. I want to read a little snippet from his Wikipedia page.
Oh,
Does
yeah.
this not sound like Todd to you?
Oh, God.
Edward Summers was an American painter, motion picture director, screenwriter, internet publisher, magazine editor, journalist, a sci-fi writer, comic book writer, novelist, book designer, actor, cinematographer, motion picture editor, documentary filmmaker, film festival founder, and educator.
Jesus. Is that real? That's really what it says?
Among his better-known works are a collection of Carl Barks stories, early work. I guess he did stuff too, but worked in motion pictures, comics, magazines. Wow, dude, this guy's my hero. You know,
that's awesome.
Well, Todd, thank you for introducing us. I'm
yeah,
a hero.
I mean, he this guy knew everybody.
No.
Oh wow. This is also from his Wikipedia. He was a fellow at the National Endowment for the Arts. He received a grant to produce a documentary about the history of American comic strip and comic book art. The unfinished film, so he never finished it, covered, among other people, Jack Kirby, Milton Caniff, Carl Barks, Chuck Jones, Ray Bradbury, Dick Humer, and Ralph Bakshi.
Oh, this is interesting.
Oh,
He
wow.
taught animation history at the School of Visual Arts in New York City, and he contributed to Star Wars, and his friendship with George Lucas was prolifically extensivized in the 2013 thorough interview with Jonathan Fritzer in issues 139, 140, and 141 of the magazine Star Wars Insider.
Wow. Yeah, he was a marketing consultant for Star Wars in 1983.
Yeah. Jeez.
Wow.
He's one of those dudes we probably should have known who he was, but we never heard of him.
Never heard of him. Never
heard of him.
But
Holy
really
crap.
should have known who he was.
All right, let's
as
go.
long as we've been collecting comics and been into
Well,
comics.
it's just a different corner. It's a different corner,
Yeah.
right? Like, I'm sure if we
Yeah.
own comic book stores, we'd probably know who he is, or
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
don't-
it's not like one of us owns a comic shop.
Yeah, we pick up a comic book and we look at the artist. We
Yeah.
don't look at the editor. We don't look at the
Yeah.
writer. We don't look
He's-
at the senior editor. We don't. There's so many people we don't care about
Well,
because
he's
we're focused on
obviously
one thing.
famous, and he's obviously a legend in the original art area. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, here we go.
It stops it instantly and it falls.
Here's Ed Summers, a serious comic collector.
Piece is the first thing they ever did for Jumbo Comics
Funniest thing
#1.
about this is they just call him a serious comic book collector. This guy is more than a serious comic book collector.
Well, this might have been. This is like 79. This might be like
2 years after Star Wars. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but
Sorry. Keep going, Todd. I promise I won't interrupt.
Well, he also
anymore.
might have just been starting here. You know what I mean? Like he might not have opened the shop yet, or I mean, Star Wars was Star Wars 77?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Count of Monte Cristo. It's really pretty straight compared to some of Jack's other things, which are much more dynamic. It's what he developed later. Kirby at the time was going under the name of Jack Curtis because it wasn't really too decorous to be known as a comic book artist. It was pretty new. This is Kirby at his best. You can see here the qualities that Jack Kirby became famous for. The most obvious one is the exaggeration of the size of the hand, which makes it appear to come forward from the page. It's
millions of dollars in art. Millions upon millions.
I wonder where it's at now.
I don't know. George Lucas's house.
a technique, it's called foreshortening. It was used in the 16th century by some religious artists. Then over here he has the action lines with the hammer, so it really looks as though it's moving.
It's fans like Ed Summers that have taken comics from the newsstands and put them into the Museum of Modern Art. A fanatic fan will pay any price for some of the original artwork from the pencil of Neil Adams, or a Steranko, or from Jack King Kirby.
In Neil Adams' work, you can see that here's a drawing that's very similar to the Thor cover that we looked at before. It's different in Adams' works because the hand is very, very realistic. You can see that it's very similar, an enlarged portion of the body here and a smaller portion here, which makes the figure seem to come forward.
But back at DC Comics, 17-year-old Trevor Von Eaton, still in high school, is working on his first pro comic.
You're on vacation now? Finished from school? Yeah. Classes ended on Tuesday. Great, then you can finish your story.
Trevor Von Eaton, dude. 17, still in high school, and they got him on camera working on his first comic book.
Wild.
Isn't this the best documentary you've ever fucking seen?
It's crazy.
It's so
There was one that I saw years and years ago. The Lapdog Press, something or other. That was a good documentary. That is probably still my all-time favorite.
Yeah, mine too. But yeah, okay, look at this.
There's some corrections we have to make on this. Let me show it to you. On the first panel here, Black Lightning's not quite big enough. So let's redraw him from the top to the bottom. All right?
Yeah, but if we do that, then we'll be hiding the logo.
It's all right.
At DC, first the writer usually creates a script. Then the artist sits down and draws, following the instructions. The result? A comic that tends to emphasize plot and words over art.
Like, look at this. This panel, right?
Yeah.
This is the first time he's talking, and even though he's already been established here, I think it's more important to have a close-up here than over there.
Okay, that's right, because it's his first speech. Okay, let's switch this around.
Because, you know, he's just sitting there.
Okay, let's have Clark's talking, him in the foreground here, Henderson in the background, then we pull him up for your close-up in the last panel. I think, yeah, right, that's this whole thing.
Meanwhile, back at Marvel.
How's it going with that team-up plot?
Pretty well.
Yeah, it looks like you got the splash going all right. Yeah. What do we got?
You know who that is?
Is that John Romita Jr.?
Yeah.
Spider-Man and Thor?
Yeah.
Do you think by cropping in on Thor's hammer, we kind of lose a little of the motion? Maybe if we could move it in a bit.
At Marvel, they do things the other way around. The result? A comic that tends to emphasize art over words.
Because the way you've got everything else arranged, the layout and everything looks fine. I think if you can get that one thing, it'll really be dynamite.
That's no problem, sure.
Either way, working...
Do you notice, can I just say, do you notice what's missing, what the difference is between, like, just the thing you're seeing in this documentary versus, like, modern comics today? Every single time you see two people talking in the office, they're like, can you crop this in over here? Well, what about the shot over here? Maybe put the foreground here, the background there. This needs to be a close-up, and then we need to have some dialogue. Like, it's all storytelling. It's all storytelling. Crop the hammer here, move him over there. None of that happens anymore. Like, none of it. There's no editing whatsoever at all. It totally misses like all of the Apprentice style leadership of like having an editor or having someone like Archie Goodwin say, yeah, so this shot needs to be improved. you know, got to make him bigger over here and smaller over there. Like none of it happens anymore.
We'll keep going.
On Pro Comics is like working on an assembly line. First, one artist draws the majestic vision with a pencil. Then another artist goes over it in dark ink. Then somebody else colors it, and somebody else letters it. And a whole other crew gets together to do the covers. Maybe you think comics are just pictures of people walking, talking, and beating each other up. Well, comics are art, which means new ideas, new innovations.
It's a storytelling page. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 panels, each of which tells an element of the story. But if you look at the whole page all together, it forms a face. You have to step back from it a little bit. And again, in color, it was a little clearer because some of the elements are made more distinct. Comic book artists are not beneath having in-jokes. The lower panel in this has what's called anamorphic writing, which was also used by Dolly. If you pick it up and look at it this way, all of those long, crooked lines coalesce into letters. And you can read it. It says, hey, a Jim Steranko effect.
In the War of Comics, there's only one match for Neil Adams. At far out.
What book is that?
I don't know, but that's funny.
Hey dudes, before you start, I'm being called away, so
right on, man.
It's time to haul the children home. So,
well, love you.
See you guys next time. Yeah,
take
man.
it easy, man.
Yeah.
Holy crap! This is so funny. Hey, a Jim Steranko effect.
Coalesce into letters. And you can read it. It says, hey, a Jim Steranko effect.
In the War of Comics, there's only one match for Neil Adams. That far out artwork.
Huh?
Got to do something like that on a page. That's so.
Oh,
awesome.
absolutely. I bet if you Google that, you could find the issue for sure. You're looking it up?
Yeah. Hold on a second. Somebody just yelled. I'll be right back.
All right. You may know. Okay, I will wait. Avery, what do you think about this so far?
It's pretty good.
It's pretty awesome, right?
It's got some cheese to it, but that's from the time period.
All of these do. Like even the ones when we were growing up were like Zam Pow, it's comic books. You know?
Yeah.
What I like about it is I one thing that I miss in comic book documentaries that this actually has is artists actually working on the craft. Like, you know, I mean, you get Neil Adams, you get to see pencils from his Muhammad Ali Superman thing, which is freaking crazy. Even if it's like hard to see because it's like 1970s video, you know, or film. It's very exciting. It makes me want to go get Neil Adams Artist Edition.
Sure, that would be nice.
Oh man, I don't know. This thing is it's inspiring.
There's so many of those Artist Edition books I want. Oh my
gosh.
I
know, dude. I saw 2 books that's tempting me right now. I saw someone has the Alex Toth Artist Edition.
Oh wow.
For $30.
What?
For $30.
The hardback?
Oh, hardback. And another guy has and I'm probably gonna buy it, so don't snipe me. But like another guy has you know, there's an EC Comics cover edition.
Yeah.
Dude, there's a few of them on eBay now for like $50. Like,
wow,
$50 to $60. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't really have it at the second, but like I want it really bad. Like, oh my God. Like, okay, how many, you know, how many kidneys can I sell? Yeah, all those artists. There's so many artist editions that I want. Like it's kind of unbelievable. I also want the Daniel Clowes artist edition, and dude, the John Buscema Silver Surfer artist edition. That's what I want.
Yeah, the Tomb of Dracula.
Tomb of Dracula. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you can't find it anymore, and you can't find the first Spawn one either.
I know. That was one that got away from me because I saw it and I was like, they'll have more. And
you can't find it. You can find sometimes there's somebody on eBay selling one of the signed ones, but they want like 2 G's for it.
Yeah, exactly.
The regular one, you can't find it. No, they sold out and nobody wants to part with it.
Nobody's selling it. I know, man. They're getting ready to do volume 3 with Greg Capullo.
Yeah.
You guys want to know where the Jim Steranko effect came from?
Yeah, sure.
It was a Neil Adams issue of Dead Man from the Dead Man series.
Oh,
and
cool.
Remember that one page that
wow.
showing you where it's a face? You guys want to see it in full color?
Yeah, sure. Oh, wow. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. Very cool. But that was Neil Adams doing it, so.
And this was Neil Adams in like his height of his power too, man.
Yep.
Young guy, dude. Crazy.
All right, back to it.
All right, here we go.
Of Jim Steranko, artist, author, publisher, and magician. Steranko is the tops in comic book avant-garde. He's flashy, bold, wildly visual. He revolutionized comic books like Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., and Captain America. What has he done for us lately? Chandler.
Remember when George Ramph did that little coin flip in Scarface? Chandler uses the film symbolism that we've come to know in the old Warner Brothers films like The Big Sleep and The Maltese Falcon, with guys like Edward G. Robinson and Cagney, of course, and Humphrey Bogart. These men themselves have become symbols of that kind of tough guy, hard-bitten, private eye image. And that's what we're doing in Chandler. For example, automobiles, for instance, were a very common symbol in those Warner Brothers films. You'll find that there's a reoccurring image of black limousines, massive, expensive black cars like Black Mariahs are speeding along with Tommy gun muzzles sticking out of their windows, spraying death over gangland streets. We have a car sequence in Chandler, too. The telephone became a symbol for violence and fear in 40s films, and in Chandler we use a great many telephone shots. We knew that by seeing enough of those movies that whenever the telephone rang, it meant there would be intimidation, coercion, threats, some kind of violence, perhaps even death. Believe it or not, even something as obvious and apparent as Venetian blinds have become part of the imagery of B films. Directors probably felt that because budgets were so low, they...
By the way, this Inside Baseball, this Chandler book was hidden inspiration for Sin City. For Frank Miller's Sin City style.
Oh yeah, of course.
They repeatedly used the imagery of Venetian blinds over and over again because they threw interesting patterns and shadows, some of them very menacing, on their characters, on the various sets, and it became part of the atmosphere of what has come to be known as film noir.
Okay, John. Back at the convention, there's still lots going on. Apart from dealers' tables, where you can buy those old classics, comics conventions feature original art displays, panel discussions, movies, and a wild costume contest where you can get to be your favorite hero. Comics today not only exploit violence, they also exploit sex. comics have never seen a hero who had a pot belly or a heroine who wasn't pneumatic. So why should the convention be any different? Let me say, this is a horrible example of sexism in action, so don't watch. Is this called having your cake and eating it too?
Shoes made out of platinum, I think.
That's fucking hilarious.
So sad.
Oh, all right. We'll keep going.
Even Wonder Woman, one of the rare breed of heroines who had her own comic, still gave up much of her superpowers just to be around her boyfriend.
Our first prize winner
You really think the winner will be a guy?
is Antonia Hawkins, Keenan from the movie.
Maybe the winner will be a guy.
Who's that announcer? Is that Frank Zappa?
It looks like Frank Zappa for real.
It does.
It might be.
Oh my God, is that somebody as Power Girl?
Yeah, it looks like it.
In 79?
Sure.
But the comics war is far from over. In fact, it's just taken a new twist. The DC telephone hotline.
Hi, DC fans. This is Joe Orlando. Weird Western will now premiere Scalp Hunt, a new breed of Western hero. Wait till you see Jonah Hex now in his own comic. And first of the year, watch out for the adventures of our brand new superhero, Black Lightning, written by Tony Isabella and drawn by a new young super artist, Trevor Von Eaton.
The DC hotline, I guess, is a rather cute idea. Of course, I would like to feel that we at Marvel don't really need one as much because our readers, fans, and friends really know everything that's happening. We make a point of informing them. But no, it is a good idea. It's one of the few things I would wish that we had thought of first, but I think we have to give some points to the other side occasionally.
Scan, dude.
Can I just say that the DC guy's accent, that is the purest New York accent I've heard in a long time. That just takes me back to my childhood. You don't hear that accent anymore.
No,
anywhere. Not even like the most remote parts of Brooklyn.
Not at all. All right, we got 30 seconds left. Let's do it.
Go for it.
And who's it all for? All the high finance and the high pressure work? It's still for him, the kid on the street.
Huh?
He was calling the DC hotline, but he have a Marvel comic in his hand, the Son of Satan.
Todd, can I ask you a question as someone who worked in the comic trenches for a while?
Sure.
The rivalry between DC and Marvel, how real was it, or was by your time it didn't really matter? I mean, did the people on the factory floor hate each other, or not really?
No, I mean when I was there, like I think it was different in the 70s and 80s.
We're losing Todd again.
I think
Todd?
His internet's going in and out.
But I mean, there were two company in the space, but like a lot of back and
Todd,
forth.
I don't know if you can hear me, but there he goes. So he's having internet problems.
All right. Well, Drew, I mean, do you know anything about that or not really?
Never something I really cared about.
Mm.
I'm sure there were Marvel zombies and DC, whatever DC fandom was, and they argued all the time, but I really didn't care.
I don't know. I mean, like I said, I was always a DC guy, but I really got into like Image, Top Cow. Is he coming back?
Well, I got a strange feeling we're gonna wrap it up this evening, guys.
Yeah.
It's already 10:15. I know some of us have to get to bed soon.
Yeah.
But I think Todd's having issues with his internet, so
No.
I'll wait another minute, then I'm gonna jump. Dusty, are you able to end the stream?
I am not.
Okay.
Oh no.
Actually, I think I can because I can log into like the admin account.
Okay. Because I don't know if Todd's coming back. I mean, I'm sure he will, but
Yeah, if his internet went down.
yeah, because you know you can see on the little thing here, his was going down and then it X'd out, and then he zapped. He's probably not happy.
No, he's probably not happy.
All right. Well, since we're here,
But that documentary is pretty fun.
That documentary was freaking awesome. I'm glad we got to watch the whole thing and
Oh,
learn
yeah.
some new stuff. So that's great.
Yeah. It's all from before we were really collecting.
True. Todd, we just assumed you were going to go ahead and wrap up.
No. This is Dusty.
Oh, this is
Dusty. Yeah, Dusty logged in.
All right.
That way he can end it.
All right. Well, guys, it was good seeing y'all again. Have a good weekend. Hope to talk to y'all again soon. And Avery.
Yep.
Hope you're doing good, man.
Yep.
All
Have
right.
a great weekend, you guys.
All right,
Later,
guys. Peace out, okay?
Bye.
Bye.
Adios.